Hi everyone, my name is Aidan Li, and I'm a student at Xavier High School in New York City. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to present my research paper to you today. The topic of my paper is the Asian American College Major Choice, Median Salary Information Intervention, and analysis of 6 key influence categories. Here's my presentation agenda. First, I will introduce my research, and then I will describe my research hypothesis, followed by the experiment design. After that, I will go over a set of descriptive results of the survey, followed by the detailed results of the hypothesis testing. Finally, I will conclude and offer a policy recommendation. The choice of a college major is one of the most important decisions facing young adults. The aim of my research paper was to better understand what factors influenced the college major selection process and if there was any differences between Asian American students and white students on this process. So, why is the college major selection process important? Well, differences in the college major is strongly tied to the wage gap between males and females. Males tend to major in the highest paying majors, while females tend to major in the lowest paying majors. The college major selected by students can affect a lot of things in their lives, such as their career choices, job stability, job satisfaction, and career opportunities. It can also affect their skill development, friendship networks, and graduate school attendance. So, in short, the choice of a college major will have a significant impact to a student's life and is one of the biggest decisions that the student will make in his or her life. Asian males are much more likely to major in engineering and computer science compared with whites. Among Taiwanese college students, the two most important set of influence factors on college major selection are their career preferences and personal preferences. In another study, Chinese high school students were presented with an information intervention of average wages, and the result was that most students changed into higher paying majors and STEM majors. So one common theme is that Asian students value majors that lead to high paying jobs, which STEM and business majors offer. So my research hypothesis is that if students were shown the median salary data for various college majors, that they would be more likely to select a major with a higher median salary. I also thought that Asian students would have a better grasp of the median salary data for their top choice majors. Furthermore, I hypothesized that the median salary data shown to students in the information intervention will impact the probability that they will switch to a different major, and that students who selected majors with lower actual median salaries would be more likely to switch into a major with higher median salaries. In terms of the experimental design, I launched a survey to rising sophomores in the United States who have not yet declared a major. After the participants chose their top choice majors, they were asked to estimate the median salary of their selected majors. Then the survey presented them with an information intervention, which is essentially the median salary data from a Bankrate article, and asked them to reselect their top choice major. Then the survey asked them to stack rank 6 influence categories. Then the students had to rate the importance of 18 specific influence factors on a 5-point Likert scale. Here is the Bankrate median salary article. In the article, there is a link to a data table with 151 college majors and their median salaries. This is the data that I used for the information intervention. So when I saw this article, I thought that if students saw this data, they would be more likely to choose a major that had a higher median salary, especially if they were interested in several different majors. In terms of actually running the survey, I decided to limit the participants to college rising sophomores at U.S. colleges who have not selected their majors yet. This is because college juniors and seniors who have already chosen their major could have cognitive dissonance and could rationalize their selected major. Since the target population of rising sophomores attending U.S. colleges who have not declared a major is relatively hard to find, I used 4 online platforms to recruit the 150 survey participants. The survey responses from the participants were gathered over this past summer. The participants spent around 10 minutes per survey and were paid around $2. The next set of slides describes the population of 150 rising sophomores who took the survey. Out of the 150 survey participants, 36% were Asian and 41% were white. According to a survey Of the 2019 U.S. CIRP survey of college freshmen nationally, around 50% of the freshmen were white and 12% were Asian. So comparing the survey's participants with the 2019 survey, this survey has significantly more Asians and less whites. The participants were asked to select their top choice major and a second choice major and estimate the median salaries for both majors. In terms of their top choice major before the informational intervention, 75 out of 150 was in the STEM category, which is 50%, while business majors were 25%. Comparing this study's distribution of intended college majors versus the 2019 CIRP survey, the STEM and business majors in my survey are significantly overly represented, while the rest of the categories of majors are underrepresented. 12 participants were in a control group, so they were not presented with the informational intervention. Only 138 out of the 150 were asked to select a major after reviewing the bank rate median salary data. 72 out of the 138 selected a STEM major. After the information intervention, the participants were asked to select their top choice major. They could select any of the 151 majors. 46% of them selected a new major. Out of the 67 who changed majors, only 7 changed from a non-STEM major into STEM. This is below what I was expecting. I think the main reason is that the survey sample contained many more STEM majors compared with national averages, and the STEM majors were already the ones with the highest median salaries. Out of the 38 participants who changed majors and selected a STEM major, 31 of them changed from one STEM major to another STEM major, especially into a higher paying one. 47 out of 64, which is 73%, of participants selected a major with a higher median salary. The survey also asked the participants when they first developed an interest in their top choice major. Well, 27% of the students developed their interest in a college major before sophomore year in high school, and 10% during sophomore year. Approximately 2/3 developed their interest after sophomore year in high school. I will come back to this later when I share my policy recommendation. The next several slides summarizes all of the hypotheses. Hypotheses H1 through H6 were tested using the t-test function in RStudio. Hypotheses H7 and H9 were tested using the GLM function, while H9 through H11 were tested using the LM function. In order to test hypothesis H1, I averaged the absolute value difference between the top 2 choice majors' actual median salaries minus the participants' estimates for their selected majors. H1 posited that Asian students would have a lower difference between the actual versus estimated median salaries. The Asian mean of the difference was $17,500, while the white mean was $33,400. Since the p-value is less than 0.05, the alternative hypothesis is true, so H1 is affirmed. In terms of hypothesis H2, although the Asian median for the importance of the median salary data is higher than the mean for whites, the p-value is greater than 0.05, so the alternative hypothesis is rejected. To test hypothesis H3, the participants were asked to stack rank the 6 categories of the influence factors. The hypothesis was that Asians would rank the 3 categories of family, characteristics intrinsic to the major, which includes the median salary data, and the information about the major less than whites, meaning more important, as a lower rank means more important, while Asian students would rank the 3 categories of your own interests, high school and college category of factors greater, meaning less important. The only significant result is that for hypothesis 3 H3C, the alternative hypothesis is true, that Asian stack ranked the importance of the high school category of influence factors lower than whites. Note that the order of the rankings were the same for both Asian and whites. The order was, in first place, own interests, second place, characteristics intrinsic to the major, third, information about the major, fourth, family, fifth, college factors, and sixth, high school factors. To test hypothesis H4, the participants were asked to rate the importance of the 5 specific factors in the characteristics intrinsic to the major category on a 5-point Likert scale. The hypothesis H4 is that Asians would rate all of these 5 factors higher than whites. The actual results were that none of the alternative hypotheses in this section were true. Although Asians did value the importance of the median salary data by major, H4A, the p-value was too high to reject the null hypothesis. To test hypothesis H5, the participants were asked to rate the importance of the 8 specific factors in the information about the major category. The hypothesis H5 is that Asians would rate all 4 of the factors in the traditional media areas lower than whites, and all 4 factors in the social media category, including YouTube, as higher than whites. The actual results were that only hypotheses H5A and H5B are true. Asians value book and articles as less important to their college major selection process than whites. Although Asians did value the importance of YouTube, hypothesis H5E, higher than whites, the p-value was too high to reject the null hypothesis. The hypothesis H6 is that Asians would rate family and siblings factors higher than whites, and the grandparents, other relatives, and family friends factors lower than whites. The actual results were that only hypothesis H6C and H6E are true. Asians value the influence of grandparents and family friends in the college major selection process less than whites. Here are some potential reasons. For one, Asian students' grandparents are more likely to have been born overseas and studied in Asia, and so likely did not attend college in the USA. Therefore, Asian students value the importance of their grandparents less in the college major selection process. In terms of family friends, Asian students are less likely to have family friends like the idea of godparents that whites may have. Also note that the alternative hypothesis for parents, H6A, and siblings, H6B, are rejected, so these 2 factors are not important for Asians. The GLM function in RStudio was used to test H7 and H8 by running a probit regression model on various factors likely to impact whether or not a participant switches to a new major post-treatment. H7 tests whether the participant's rating of the importance of the bank rate median salary data is significant in affecting the probability of switching majors. H8, meanwhile, tests whether the actual median salary of the top choice major is also significant. Only the bank rate median salary data was significant at 5%, so hypothesis H7 is affirmed. The actual median salary of their selected major was not significant, so H8 is rejected. So the main conclusion is that seeing the bank rate median salary data can lead students to switch their majors into majors with higher median salaries. The LM function in RStudio was used to test hypothesis H9 by running a linear regression model on specific influence factors to estimate the impact on the actual median salary of the top choice major post-treatment. H9 hypothesizes that the 2 most important influence categories are the participants' own interest in the major and the intrinsic characteristics about the major, such as median salary information. Each of the models from Model 1 through Model 6 test one of the categories. The own interest and intrinsic to the major categories were significant in estimating the actual median salary of the top choice major, so H9 is affirmed. Model 7 includes just those 2 categories, and it's interesting to note that their coefficients have opposite signs. Model 8 includes all 6 categories together, and in this model, only the own interest category is still significant. So the most important category of influence factors for the college major selection process is students' own interest in the major. Note that the intercept for all 8 models are significant, so it means that there is a strong positive correlation between Asian males, the reference group, and higher actual median salaries. Therefore, Asian males tend to select majors with higher median salaries. H10 hypothesizes that the higher the importance of the bank rate's median salary data, the higher the top choice major's actual median salary. Model 1 tested the 5 factors and the characteristics intrinsic to the major category to estimate the actual median salary of the top choice major. The median salary data was significant at 5%, so H10 is affirmed. The intercept is significant at 1%, so there is a strong correlation with Asian males and the actual median salary of the top choice majors. H11 hypothesizes that the higher the importance of YouTube, the higher the top choice major's median salary. Model 2 tested the 8 factors in the information about the major category, which includes YouTube. The books and YouTube factors were significant, so H11 is affirmed. Note that there is a positive correlation for YouTube on the actual median salary, while there is a negative correlation with books. Model 3 tested the 5 factors in the family category. None of the factors in this category were significant, including the parents and siblings factors. Model 4 includes the 3 significant factors from the previous 3 models, plus the parents factor. The 2 most significant factors in the estimate of the actual median salary of the top choice major is the median salary information and YouTube, which is significant at 1%. The parents factor were still not significant in this model. In conclusion, the Bankrate median salary data was significant in predicting the likelihood of switching majors post-information intervention. 2 of the influence categories, the own interest in the major, and characteristics intrinsic to the major, and 3 of the specific majors, the median salary data, YouTube and books, were statistically significant in the estimate of the actual median salary of participants' top choice major, while the parents and siblings factors were not. My research is one of the first to examine specific social media factors, such as YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, on their importance in the college major selection process. My main policy recommendation is that high school guidance counselors should host group sessions for sophomores where the median salary data by major is shared and discussed. This could help students make better decisions on their choice of college major, which is a very important decision for their life. Sophomore year is also a good time to share the median salary data because if it influences students to think about certain majors, students still can decide on taking certain classes, such as more advanced math and science classes, to prepare them for the majors that they are interested in. I would like to thank Professor Noah Basine and Lee Tomlinson for their extremely helpful suggestions and feedback on my research and this paper. Thank you to all of you for watching my presentation, and thank you to the RAIS organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my research to all of you.